The rich don't work for money. Why do the poor and middle class work for money, while the rich seem to make money work for them? This is the very first lesson Robert Kiyosaki learned as a child from his rich dad. And today, we're breaking it down so you can apply it too. Robert Kiyosaki had two father figures while growing up in Hawaii. His real father, his poor dad, was highly educated. He had a PhD, went to prestigious universities, and believed deeply in the traditional path of working hard, getting a stable job, and relying on retirement plans. Yet despite his education, he struggled financially all his life. On the other hand, his best friend's father, his rich dad, didn't have a fancy degree. He was a businessman who owned multiple small businesses. He believed in financial independence, investing, and making money work for you. Both men were smart. Both men were hardworking. But their attitudes toward money were completely different. Poor dad constantly said, "Study hard, get good grades, and find a safe, secure job." Rich dad taught the opposite. Don't work for money. Instead, learn how money works and make money work for you. As a boy, Robert saw this difference play out in real life. His poor dad had a steady paycheck, but always struggled to pay bills. His rich dad, though not always cash rich, was constantly building businesses and assets that generated money for him. So what was the first big lesson rich dad taught him? That the poor and middle class often get stuck in a cycle driven by fear and greed. Fear of not having enough money pushes people into jobs. They want security, so they trade time for a paycheck. Then greed takes over. As soon as they make more, they spend more on a bigger house, a nicer car, or new gadgets. That creates more expenses, and suddenly they need that paycheck even more. This cycle of working, earning, spending, and then working again just to keep up is what Kiyosaki calls the rat race. Rich dad wanted Robert to see that chasing paychecks doesn't lead to wealth. In fact, it traps you. Instead, the real path to wealth is learning how money works, spotting opportunities, and using creativity and financial intelligence to build assets. For example, when Robert and his friend Mike were just 9 years old, they asked rich dad how they could get rich. Instead of giving them a lecture, rich dad put them to work in one of his small stores for 10 cents an hour. It was boring, frustrating work. After weeks of dusting cans and earning almost nothing, Robert was ready to quit. That's when rich dad sat him down and explained the real lesson. Life doesn't teach with words. It teaches by pushing you around. When you get pushed, you have a choice. You can give up, you can blame others, or you can learn the lesson and adapt. In this case, the lesson was clear. Don't let fear of being broke push you into working jobs you hate. And don't let greed trick you into thinking a bigger paycheck will solve your problems. Instead, train your mind to see opportunities that others miss. Rich dad said, "The poor and middle class work for money. The rich have money work for them." That became Robert's first and most important financial lesson. So here's the key takeaway from Chapter 1. If you want to build wealth, stop asking, "How can I earn more money?" and start asking, "How can I make money work for me?" Instead of focusing only on your paycheck, start focusing on opportunities, skills, and financial education. Money is a tool. If you learn how to use it, it will work for you, even while you sleep. In the next video, we'll dive into Chapter 2, Why Teach Financial Literacy, and uncover why most people confuse assets with liabilities, and how that one mistake keeps them broke. Stay tuned.